In newly released audio that was obtained by author Ramin Setoodeh as part of the research for his book Apprentice in Wonderland, where he spoke to Donald Trump on multiple different occasions last year, and according to Setoodeh, by the way, it's worth pointing out that Trump didn't remember being previously interviewed by the guy during one of their conversations, even though they had talked multiple times. But Setoodeh has released audio of Donald Trump bragging about he can be evil as long as it brings in good ratings. Now, specifically, of course, he is talking in the context of the show The Apprentice, but it really kind of lets us know what's happening inside of Trump's brain and why he is the way he is all the time. Here is what Trump says in this newly released audio. So if I went back to NBC right now to do something, they would do anything I wanted to do, show Biz Wise I'm talking about. Doing a show, anything I wanted to do right now, 100%. It's because that business is all about one thing, ratings. If you have ratings, you can be the meanest, most horrible human being in the world. There's only one thing that matters, ratings. You can be nice or you can be mean. You can be evil. You can be horrible. You can be crude or elegant. There's only one thing that matters, and that's ratings. And if you don't have ratings, it doesn't matter. So Trump can be evil, he can be vile, he can be crude. He can be all of the horrible things that we have seen him be over the years, because the only thing that matters to them, of course, at NBC, he says, not to him. The only thing that matters is the ratings, right? Now, if that doesn't perfectly sum up Donald Trump's behavior over the last 8 years, even prior to that, really, then I don't know what does. Because when you think about it in the context outside of The Apprentice and in the context of how he's been since he started running for president, what has he done? He has gone out there on social media, he attacks people, calls them horrible names, he does it in rallies, he does it in interviews, and every time he does those things, or every time he says a crazy thing, what happens? What happens every time he is vile and horrible and just plain evil? Every news outlet in the country, good or bad, talks about it. So in his mind, that's ratings. It may not be on TV, but that's still ratings. If they're talking about you, that's ratings. And Donald Trump picked that up early when he started running for president, right? When he came down that escalator and proudly announced that immigrants were coming into this country and murdering you. Well, immediately the media picked that up. It was all over the media at the time. He got a lot of publicity for it, good and bad. But in his eyes, there's no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity is good publicity. So right then he knew, if I say horrible, off-the-wall, outlandish things, doesn't matter how evil they are, people are going to talk about me. I like when people talk about me. It makes me feel important. It makes me feel big. It's the only way I can have any kind of sense of self-worth. So he does it again and again, and he gets worse and he gets worse as the years drag on. So this audio is not just about Donald Trump saying what he would do on The Apprentice. It's letting us know how he lives his life. He is intentionally making the choice to be a horrible person because it gets people to talk about him. And if they're not talking about him, then he ceases to exist, he thinks. So he has to keep it up. He has to have the drama. He has to have the limelight 24/7. Because if he doesn't, he will wither away and disappear for all of eternity. It's not about legislating. It's not about putting out a good product. It's about saying the most vile things imaginable so that people talk about him. That is why he does what he does. And that is what he told Setoodeh during this interview. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.